Welcome to Flip Clock fans. This is Mackie. What we're going to look at today is the Panasonic model RC-7021. We're going to do instruction on disassembly of this particular clock. As with every time I do a video like this, I instruct people just to take your time and be careful. Don't force anything. Sometimes these things are going to stick very hard. However, this in particular, I previously had to replace a whole part of this clock because someone had roughhoused this stem when they pushed it on or got it off. So let's just jump right into it. First, with most of these clocks, you got to get your knobs off first. If they haven't been off in a while, they're very hard to get off. This, as with the other knobs, you pull straight up, and the part is plastic, and then it has kind of a metal band, and it makes it's actually difficult to get back on as well. But you see the shape of it matches the shape of the post. Okay, so again, we'll just press on with the disassembly straight out. This is similar to the other knob. Again, straight off. You can pry very carefully. If you have trouble, you can get a cloth or something and get in here so that you don't mar your surface. And you're working to pry straight up. You can definitely damage things if you get too aggressive. And again, straight out. This is a tough one, and it's hard to get on as well. You don't want any lateral movement when you do this, or you're going to end up breaking your knobs. These knobs are actually the same knob for both, either volume or tuning. Okay, so we don't mar the surface. We'll put down a cloth. Actually, I'm more concerned about the clock than the surface. So turn over, and you've got 6 screws to deal with. The cabinet screws, which is there's 2 in the back here, and the 2 in the front, and then the clock screws. I used to use a power screwdriver when doing this, and I have moved away from that. Some of the old plastic wants to crack if you get too aggressive and move it too fast. And so when I first start, I'll slowly release that. I try to gently break that loose if it's stuck to the plastic. And I go ahead and take the screws off here. When you're doing this, you'll see there's a lock washer and a flat washer. So you got your screw and a lock washer. So I like to go ahead and get those together. I also like, if I got a lot of little parts like this, a lot of times I'll just go ahead and get a baggie and start putting them in there, because it's going to be real easy to lose these parts. Okay, so that's it. I think I've undone the screws enough in the cabinet, so when I turn it over they should fall out. This top, pull straight up. Because of this post here, I'm going to have to edge it off to the side. Let's see if it's going to cooperate. Looks like we may have got the screws out. All screws are out. There we go. So I had to kind of go to the side there a little bit, and you'll see that this clock has an earphone jack. And then it has a speaker. To take the speaker out, it's pretty obvious. You just take your 4 screws off. To take the earphone jack out, there is a ring nut there. You can take 2 sharp objects, get a hold of that and turn it. I guess you could take a paper clip and get in there. There's 2 little nubs in there that you have to kind of get a hold of. Okay, we've got this off. I'm not going to take those off at this time. Everything's pretty straightforward. There is, if you look at the clock, if you need to get in here, and I'm actually going to get into this when I'm going to replace the light, you're going to need to take this screw off here, right here, which is holding the clock to the board. If you're going to take the circuit board out altogether, there are red screws. There's 1, 2, 3, one over here on the circuit board, 4, 5, and then straight down into this hole is access to the 6th one that you need to take out to remove everything. So everything will come off of this clock, and allows you to clean or whatever you're going to do. So everything comes off. The faceplate on this is different. A lot of these clocks have missing the bezel, the silver bezel here. See if I get lucky here. Well, this can come off if you're careful. All right, and we didn't break anything. There's tabs here. Probably should have disassembled this more before I started trying to pull that off. You'll see some gnarly looking glue in there. That's the kind of glue they used. If the bezel's off, it's really ugly because they used this glue that's kind of turned yellow. So this front piece is continuous with the rest of the plastic, so that's not going to come off. It was molded that way. So you can work your clock out, and this is the bulb I'm going to replace. Here there's a piece of tape. It's probably some kind of heat tape or something. You need to pry up this little knob here, this little divot to get that out. Now, something about this clock I didn't mention at the beginning, and I probably should have. Unlike some of the other clocks, they convert it to, the voltage is converted to DC pretty quick from a transformer. In the motor, you get this, what we probably got here. Here we've got live 120 volt or whatever your voltage is, AC current right here. So if you drop the tool right here, you're going to get a heck of a spark and probably destroy something, if not hurt or seriously injure or kill yourself. So that's high energy here. So you got to make sure you unplug this. Be very careful. The light, if you follow this back, you've got one attaches here, a lead attaches here, and then the other attaches here. So it is a 120 volt bulb. And in a lot of your other other clocks, you're looking at a 9 to a 12 volt DC bulb. So it's a wholly different kind of bulb that you have to get. The bulb I'm using is a 120 volt neon bulb. It's going to give a kind of an orange glow to the numbers. Okay, so that's it. Reassembly is in the reverse. You've got to take your time. These things don't just fall into place. You'll have to take your time and work the clock back in. Put the screw back in here. Everything goes back in reverse. There's no surprise. When the clock goes back on, you'll have to aim for that post first, then bring it over. Nothing should have to be forced. Again, when you put your knobs back on, you got to take your time. Like I said, this place right here, I had to replace this. Now, it's nice because these things are the components come apart very easily, so it's easy to replace the motor. It's easy to replace this post. This little post is a sleep mechanism where you can turn it on for 30 minutes and the radio will go off after a while. I don't know anybody who uses that, but that's what that is. That can break off if you get too much force on it. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching and good luck. Be careful out there.